Insert theme song here. We don't have a theme song, but if we had one, it'd go here. Anyways, hi guys, welcome back to Laser Print. I'm Joe. Joe Italian last name. We are going to be covering honestly not a lot of books. It is the fifth week in the month. Also, it's New Year's. So we're taking a look at this week's comics, but because it is the fifth week in comics, we don't have a lot to look at. So this is going to be kind of a mini episode. There is no DC Comics got released yesterday at all. They just did not release anything. No annuals, no specials, nothing. We are only going to be looking at 5 issues from Marvel because that's all that really came out that was worth looking at the moment. Check one more time in my stack. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We only got 5 books we're looking at. So first off, we are looking at Predator Kills the Marvel Universe, number 5. This is, there we go, written by Benjamin Percy with pencils by Marcelo Ferreira, Daniel Picotto, and Brent Peebles. Inkers Jay Liston, Daniel Picotto, and Brent Peebles. Colors by Frank Diamarta. And this is a finale for this ongoing thing that Ben Percy has been doing by bringing the 20th Century Fox aliens, both the Predator and the Xenomorphs, into the Marvel Universe as potentially leading to one big crossover, because we did have Predator meets Spider-Man. I think Steve Rogers is currently dealing with Xenomorphs in World War II. Predator also took on Wolverine, and Predator took on Black Panther, and now he's going after the entire Marvel Universe. The Yautja have just murdered a large swath of superheroes along with Kraven. The remaining superheroes fight back. Tony Stark unveils new vibranium armor with various abilities to counter the Predators. Wakanda comes to the New York shores to help aid in the fight. Meanwhile, Sue, potentially the last surviving member of the Fantastic Four. I don't know if Ben actually technically was just tossed into space, and I don't know how his body works in the vacuum of space. I assume he still needs air to breathe, so he may be dead, but no one ever confirmed that. Anyways, Sue's being held in the main Yautja compound, and everybody keeps forgetting Sue's the strongest member of the Fantastic Four and just wrecks house. Pardon. So, honestly, not a bad issue. Art's pretty good. Ending is solid. Of course, they are teasing at more coming later. Because Ben Percy's just going to keep this 20th century Marvel fighting the Xenomorphs and the Predators. I'm sure it's going to be one big, giant crossover at some point. Predator versus Alien kills the Marvel Universe. Because it seems like we're slowly leaning into that, which is fine. It's a nice alternate take. We've already did Predators versus Avengers by, I think, Jonathan Hickman. Or not Predators, excuse me. Aliens versus Avengers by Jonathan Hickman, which was solid. This book I can definitely recommend. Steve Orlando is back with a new number 1, which is technically the continuation of his Scarlet Witch book, which I can definitely recommend. Over on the Get Bit podcast, we did have an interview with Steve Orlando where we talked at length. This just continues his story as a relaunch of a new number 1, which is kind of how you get interest in the books and keep the book going. What I'm seeing in the industry is these lesser character titles, not to say that Wanda's a lesser character, but just like the titles that you would think would not do well or would just not sell as much as, like, say, Spider-Man or Avengers or anything. What they're doing is they're telling small 6 to 8 issue stories and then rebooting under a new title with a new number 1 so that they can continue the story but get that collector mentality of, oh, it's a new number 1. And we're continuing Wanda's story from her book, which I think recently was Wanda and Vision. Scarlet Witch and Vision, or Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. It's one of those two. And we're doing it because now that Doom is no longer Sorcerer Supreme, Wanda has chosen to obtain the mantle of Sorcerer Supreme, which is a point of contention in this. So this book is written by Steve Orlando, art by Bernard Chang, colors by Ruth Redman. We open with Wanda fighting Dormammu because Dormammu is like, well, no, Sorcerer Supreme, the Earth Realm is mine to take. Wanda comes in with a slightly new costume redesign. It's her standard costume, but she has the Eye of Agamotto as a necklace, and the cloak of the cloak of invisibility is now kind of a hip skirt to her already bodysuit. So she fights Dormammu and then goes to meet up with Darcy and a new character, I believe, who is an intern for her new store. I believe Eli Fest, F-E-I-S-T. So Eli Fest, we'll just go with that, is a new intern. Then we fast forward over to Wong, who's talking to Wanda about her claiming the title of Sorcerer Supreme. Bats just wants to know, hey, which one of you is just walking me? So props. Bats the dog is still in this book, and that's a great thing because Bats is like one of the best characters to come out of Doctor Strange in the last 10 years. Also, the snakes of Alistair and Anton, which are also fun. Wanda agrees, I'll walk the dog, but I'm not walking the snakes, which is fine. We also see that Wanda, as a Sorcerer Supreme, is going to do things a little differently. She has set up a I guess a council using magic mirrors to communicate with everybody. Clea, Doctor Strange's wife, her two sons, Wiccan and Speed, the new King of Dreams, and her former apprentice, Amaranth. Also, Chthon is also because she needs someone just to like say the bad stuff so everyone can like, maybe we don't do that. Beyond that, it's just she goes up against the Vishanti because the Vishanti do not want her to be Sorcerer Supreme because she did not earn the mantle. She was not chosen as a successor. Doom did not bequeath it to her. Strange did not bequeath the title to her. She just took it. So she just kind of like shunts the Vishanti off into what she says is neutral ground, and the Vishanti decide to strike back at her by making sometimes friend, sometimes rival Agatha Harkness the new Sorcerer Supreme chosen by them. So now we're going to get a battle for the title. Also, good book, nice relaunch. This sets up a nice new arc for Wanda. The Scarlet Witch book has been solid all the way through. Art has been pretty decent all the way through too. I like where they've taken Wanda ever since the Krakoa era and given her own things to do. I think the book's been solid. Steve Orlando has been really, really good and really attentive in this run he's been doing with Wanda. It's kind of a sleeper. I don't think many people are aware of it, but I do want to turn people onto it. Next up, we got Ultimate Endgame number 1. This is the finale for the new Ultimate Universe because they're just, for some reason, ending it, which makes no sense because some of the Ultimate line books, specifically Ultimate Spider-Man, always outsells mainline Spider-Man every time it's on the shelf, along with some of the other titles. I think the X-Men, Peach Momoko's X-Men is also doing better than standard X-Men at the moment. This is written by, where's the title page? They did not do a good job on the layouts of this book. We see all the players. Must be at the finale. I hate when they, personal pet peeve, if you guys ever listen to this, one of my personal pet peeves in comics is when the title page is at the finale of the book, and it is. So this is written by Denson Camp, art by Terry and Rachel Dodson, which is fantastically good. But those are only covered in pages that happen outside of the dome. We have Jonas Scarf doing the prologue and anything inside the dome. Colors are Federico Belli outside the dome and Edgar Delgado both in the prologue and inside the dome. The long and short of it, the maker, who is an evil Reed Richards from the standard original Ultimate Universe, has immediately killed and taken offline all the Eternals, which probably were going to be his only source of competition. Ultimate Iron Man, Iron Lad, Doom, who's Reed Richards, Captain America, America Chavez, Hawkeye, and Spider-Man are going into the dome to try and halt the Maker from within, while the entire rest of the universe tries to deal with the Maker's forces. It does not go well. Their satellite's taken out by hand, which is this unit's version of S.H.I.E.L.D. done by Nick Fury. We assume there's no survivors, but we'll talk about that in just a moment. We go and they meet someone from the future who surprisingly let Time Warp there by Deathhead, of all things. And we also meet this version of Immortus, which is just Tony Stark's dad. And then we learn that the Maker has just become the planet itself. So I haven't really been keeping up with the Ultimate Universe outside of Ultimate Spider-Man, just because Ultimate Spider is what we've been asking Marvel to do forever. And every time they do it, the book sells really well until they somehow screw it up, and they have not screwed up Ultimate Spider-Man. So Ultimate Endgame doesn't really interest me. I don't really care where the rest of the Marvel Ultimate Universe goes outside of Ultimate Spider-Man and the Ultimate X-Men, just because Peach Momoko writes and draws that book gorgeously. So there's that. We're going to move over into the Ultimates. And this is cast. I think it's the same people. So go down to the bottom. Yep. This is written by Danzig Camp, art by Juan Frigeri. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Colors by Federico Blee and Edgar Delgado. We see what happens to the rest of the Ultimates. So after the Triascalon, which is the Ultimate satellite, crashes to Earth, we catch up with the survivors while the other team of the Ultimates hold riots in various cities. This mostly focuses on Ultimate Janet Van Dyne Pym and Hank Pym. We just go into her past. We see that Janet is actually a sleeper agent working with the Hand solely just to keep Hank alive. Hank is kind of brain damaged, so his intelligence goes in and out from stuff. We also see the tribal She-Hulk. I guess that's the best way of putting it. I don't know the book all that, honestly. We're only looking at this because this is a tie-in to Ultimate Endgame. So Ultimate She-Hulk is heading to go help. We, again, focus more in on Janet, and we see Nick Fury, who is classic Nick Fury. He's going to execute them, but he dies because we are introduced to Ultimate Vision, who is just Janet's friend, apparently, and that's where the book ends. Honestly, I can't recommend it just because I don't know the book. I'm not intrinsically tied to it. We're looking at this just because it ties in directly to Ultimate Endgame. So there's that. If you do, I would recommend catching up. It looks fine. Art's great. Plot's pretty good. It's just, it doesn't interest me because outside of Ultimate X-Men and Ultimate Spider-Man, it just doesn't do anything for me. And then finally, we are going to cut this one on X-Men Age of Revelation finale. This is written by Jed McKay, art by Ryan Stegman and Neto Diaz, inkers J.P. Meyer, and colors Marcio Menez. This is the finale to the most underwhelming and, quite frankly, unnecessary X-Men event that affected some books. So all the X-Men books got put on hold for this giant Jed Came event where we travel like several years into the future, where Doug Ramsey has become the sole heir of Apocalypse and has unleashed a giant mutant virus upon the world, killing mass millions and mutating others. The biggest issue is this is an underwhelming event. I really didn't like any of the books tied in, except for maybe the Gambit and Rogue stuff and the Iron Tony and Emma Frost one. tie-ins. Those were the only really good ones that stood out to me. Again, but that's biased because I really enjoy the Rogue Gambit X-Men book that's going on right now, Uncanny X-Men, because that is just New Mutants. And once again, character bias with Emma Frost, so I'll definitely read that because it kind of does carry through that Krakoa marriage period between Emma and Tony, and they have really good chemistry as a couple. So there's that. Those are the two books I think. Other than that, I've not paid attention to this a bit at all. Honestly, I don't like it because it halted the progress of the two books I was reading. But to cover it, they strike out at Revelation. Apocalypse and Xavier come for Krakoa to assist in the fight. Doug kind of regrets doing some of this stuff, but he's like, I've come too far and I just want to become. His end goal is to essentially become this basically Ego the Living Planet, but Doug Ramsey the Living Planet. Some X-Men reunite. We kill some other X-Men because this is once again an alternate timeline. Some X-Men are in a bunker waiting to be sent back, or for Schwarzschild to send Cyclops and Beast back. We have the big climactic battle. It's okay. It's fine. It exactly goes how I thought it would go. We get rid of a lot of excess characters, but ultimately this is the X-Men, so the timeline does not go the battle doesn't go as we think it goes. And yeah, not a great ending. Don't really care. Back to things, Cyclops is reverted back to his body. He doesn't know where he is or what's going on. He just knows he's got a helmet and he's in a jail cell. Beast got sent back, but we learned it's technically not Beast who went out. It's someone in the Rogue Mutant group called the 3K, who's been one of the primary antagonists in the main Jed McKay X-Men book. And then that's it. That's the finale of it. Oh, well. We do have some new stuff because now the Age of Revelation is coming over. X-Men number 23 is just going to be an epilogue. Uncanny X-Men starts back up, thank God. Wolverine continues. I think he's going up against Silver Sable, but we do have 3 new number 1s. Rogue is getting her own solo book on top of Uncanny X-Men, so we get, I think, one of the first solo Rogue books we've had either ever or in a while. Psylocke Ninja is also going to be a solo, so we get the Further Adventures of Quanon. And then we get Inglorious X-Force because the last X-Force book did not do well and that was X-Factor that did not do well, almost immediately got canceled. But we're getting a new X-Force with, it looks like the team being Wolverine, Boom Boom, Cable, and Archangel. So I do at least look forward to that. I do look forward for more exceptional X-Men because that is just a new era of Generation X. I am looking forward to that. I'm trying to see if we got any more information on that. So we got a little bit of information on Inglorious X-Force. So again, I did name the team. Looks like the team writing it will be Tim Seeley and Michael Staub. Maria will be that team heading up that. We have for Rogue, got Memories, Hannah Maria's doing stuff with Mystique. Looks like Erica Schultz and Luigi Zagara will be the creative team behind that. And the new Psylocke book will be done by Tim Seeley once more, and also Nico Leone will be the creative team for that. So I do look forward to it. The associated editors for all 3 books are going to be Lindsay Koick and Cy Pedro Baltan will be assistant editors. Annalise Bisa will be the associate editor. Mark Basso and Darren Shawn will be editor. And Tom Braver will be the, once again, head of the X bullpen. That's some give or take. So, yeah. Those are the books this week, guys. Sorry, once again, short episode. We only had so many books we could cover. Even the indie titles, there was nothing really out this week worth looking at. I did try but there just wasn't anything good. There was any Radiant Black, but I need to get caught back up on Radiant Black before I cover it again. I'm a little bit behind. I'm like one story arc behind. Like where I'm at is at the finale of the Catalyst War, and I need to read it moving forward. So, but guys, that's it. Thanks so much for listening. Tune in next week for another episode of Laser Print, and we'll see you soon. Later.